21st Century Poetic License Poems from the Heart by Robert P. Fitton. Nature and Life. North of North. Can someone tell me what's north of North? Not today as I venture forth north of the blue Charles Channel, somewhere north of Cambridge and points beyond. Let me pierce the zenith to worlds unknown. I've always wanted to go. It's the moment I leave the tunnel to places I've never been before. It's Pittsburgh lasered through the mountains where light is not light after all. When dreams are most assuredly supplanted by faceted layers of elevated phantasms. North of North. Racing like a NASCAR wannabe to the finite shores of the reservoir, tiptoeing above and around the surface tension. Soaring past every instant I've known, north of North. North before I'm through, my consciousness deceives me, these worlds unknown, when day leaves night and night dribbles away, I stand everywhere at once, north of North. Change. I love the change. Change, the ever-changing season is here. Orange cut leaves within the green. It's September new and clear. Fallen leaves, only a few now it seems, are scattered across the dewy grass. It's change, and everything must pass. I love the sweeping change, the movement of the earth around the sun. Gray strands within the dark. Even the sun knows when day is done. The shadows from bending branches are stark, and stars boldly shine above the widening range. It is constant, always shifting, perpetual change. One by one, they have fallen across the Mother Earth. I hear the distant voices calling, falling before the human curse. Once I cast them youthful gazes and sought their loving faces. Even those gods who stood so tall have fallen before us all. One by one they have fallen like leaves in cold autumn air. With a frantic cry, I gasped, as neither leaves nor gods I grasped. Age has made us now aware how summer's branches suddenly go bare. I hear the distant, beckoning sound of leaves reaching the frozen ground. One by one they have fallen across the Mother Earth. Even bare cold branches have fallen to the silver sky unheard. How can I seek to recapture the river flowing through warmer pasture? I can only mourn its course today, and those bright leaves seen just yesterday spread over sturdy trees once living, their life-sustaining force so giving, shut down, dead, forgiven. Pass me a summer's day. Pass me a summer's day. I've been longing to travel away. That day we disappeared down the Berkshire Highway when the air was warm and clouds promptly parted. Remember that day? We hauled our packs past the cranberry pond, through the forest tunnel up and over the rocky slope. With pounding hearts and sweaty brows, on the way to the top, remember that day? From the fire tower's view, a haze hung over the valley and over me when winter is cold and gray, and so are we oft, I will ask you. Pass me a summer's day. I never sighted the red-tailed hawk. I never sighted the red-tailed hawk above the treetops and the road. Was I growing old? Nor did a baby's laugh bring such joy. The giggle and the laugh, and like the wind around the hawk, were uncut, pristine blended tones. These were bridges I had never crossed. Until you took my hand and brought me there, a shoot, a leaf, a sparkling lake, surrounded by the maple's yellow glow, a glow like you who shone the light into the darkened world I had shut out. I turn backward now, tears in the backwater. I turn backward now, to a road channeled and meandered as if plowed. The road and I, we have an innard, forever pain. Thoughts are like salty estuaries carved into the verdant plain. As the cold evening fog creeps inward from the crashing sea, remnant sun provides a vapor glaze, ubiquitous beyond the murky trees. Youth misconstrue growing old, the aged proclaim things don't work no more. My memories aren't shrouded by years. I have a pugnacious attitude where there should be fear, loss, and love piled up like the snowbanks when I was a boy. Love and life are best when enjoyed. Tonight, there's hint of snow in the frigid New England air, and my soul and heart have just been laid bare. I turn backward now, toward an endless night shrouding those I cannot see, along the straw grass shore against the icy backwater's flow. The fire's warmth spreads beyond the heated brick hearth glow. I hear them singing tidings of peace, I believe, when Mom had us all gather at home on Christmas Eve. It is a dream, dreamed by the dreamer. Beyond the exploding stars are dimensional brains. Below my cranium is a world that reigns sublime. Sparks would scatter when Dad added another piece of pine, or as Auntie finished the crystalline goblet holding wine, like passing runners in marathon races. So, briefly, I saw their faces. We arrived early, down the pike from Amherst. The past cannot be unlocked like Pharaoh's curse. Snow, so quiet, the snow that nobody knows, pings your face when the winter wind begins to blow. I turn backward now, with a simple, unintended sigh, just once to hold her gentle hand in mine, or look into my mother's loving eyes. Let us all toast the new year's inevitable rampant turn. Oh, I have become so almighty, pompously wise. Twilight and wrinkles provide the ultimate disguise. The footprints. Who belongs to the footprints in the snow? Assorted sizes compacted along the trail. How would I ever know? From whence they came and whence they went. Winter's chill hurts the hardest, when churned with unmerciful death, left with only shadows on the grave and footprints in the snow. First, there was nothing before the storm, inaudible flakes wafted to the ground. The hundreds and the millions who traveled without a sound. Footprints designed and pressed, frozen in the woods till spring, until the sun decided to thaw. They became silver before the dawn. When does snow transform to slush and water to earth and back again? It is when summer sizzles the forest floor and the footprints that are no more. This canal, keeper of the wayward tides, is bridged with spanning silver steel, railroading trains, and cut by painted bows and keel. Oft have I paused, then stopped to behold. This canal, by night, by day, has ebbs and eddies and rock-piled jetties to catch the wind-blown, sloshing brine. Fishermen cast their lines and themselves. They, as I, pretend to reel in the twine. Oft have I paused, then stopped to behold forces and people beyond my control. This canal is singular and alone. The barges and the tugs only passing by, until the sun returns over the iridescent bay to warm the salt air and commence another day. These nighttime highways are the same everywhere. Daytime's highlights stripped bare. Everything that makes a place is lost to the nighttime's darkened face. The horizon dim and diminished in twilight. Silhouetted forms lurk left and right. Line after broken line shooting up the hill. Mile after mile on the asphalt treadmill. Radio towers' beacon lights flashing preside, with red taillights across the countryside. Down the road, oncoming high beams glare. Nighttime highways are the same everywhere. Late January pools elongate westward unhindered. Sunlight flickers through the branches winded. Long shadows spread over the clean settled snow. This primordial time of year leaves him all alone. Against the cold northern air stands a solitary creature, tracking snow crystals across the lofty reaches. As an inhabitant of the frozen winter fauna, he can attest that the earth will surely turn the corner. Pines connected collectively, collaboratively sing. This New England air will most assuredly warm in spring. Hope, drawing forward hope does he, hope do we all. When he stood at the annual burst of color just last fall. Last night, a blizzard deposited humongous mounds of snow. The frogs and coyotes, mallards and ospreys seem to know that the rigid marsh grasses and glazed shoestring bay will transform metamorphic to thrive another day. He waits near the timeless ocean, tantalized by winter's dramatized teasing potion. Soon, Beachcombers will invade Loop Beach, and he'll pretend. That summer goes on forever, and the cycle never ends. The surface tension. Just last week before dawn, when we tiptoed across the bay until the land appeared and the water was gone. Boothbay Harbor was airbrushed, quiet, and still. The milky sky and water, too, were one and the same. Like boats in an oil canvas's lively refrain, the kayak arrived and the water spread, a perfect symmetry now declared dead. It was like all of us growing older. The harbor was not transformed by dropping boulders. When I think of dying, I begin to tremble. Surface tension can be broken by a single pebble. Spring arrived late. I arrived with glee, below Taurus and the Pleiades. There were 7 sisters, but I saw 13 in the star cluster. Aldebaran was red and the bull was stubborn. So was I. Spring arrived late outside and in my life. And I will never know how riding on the silver nighttime clouds I was born anew. There were bare branches and wispy pines reaching for the shining pinholes in the sky. I remember the cleanness in the air that only March could bring. When the snow had finally melted, it was useless asking why she was in love, and so was I. The spirit of the land. The road divvied and cut a grove of Dimitas birches and pines. Snowbanks carved and creviced to Sebago below the telephone lines. Along the hills, the cows and horses trembled at their narrow escape. I said in chagrin, the techno wave had not etched this virgin space. A preamble sun arrived between the branches with a simple promise. Nick's electrical circuits, the digital combustion, and the fuss. Was a time a man accepted the onslaught after winter's end. The fields needed plowing, time to restock and let the spirit mend. In Androscoggin County's forest deep, a crackling fire burned. A pervasive smoke settled in once the season turned. The crystal Maine snow melted quietly with nary a gurgle nor a quiver, trickled to stream before gushing into the Kennebec River. New Hampshire's Chocorua brushed the pewter-smeared sky. Across the ice lake, sprinkled snow peaks were purple in disguise, as a single wafting bird winged high above the birches clustered. Like the mountains, the rivers, and the man, his spirit was hardly flustered. The shirt that was new. The shirt that was new hung on a circular rack. Caught my eye, it did. The deep blue sleeves, white on the front and back. So, I bought it and brought it home for weeks and weeks. It was my new shirt. The shirt that was new long ago. I thought of it on this very day as I pulled it from a pile of rags and wet it around and throughout, but I was not trying to wash the shirt. The shirt that was new, its useful shape outgrown, was the shirt I used for cleaning things. Oh, if time could stop me here and now. I'd scarcely believe it was true that the shirt, so fresh and new upon the rack, was the shirt I used for mopping dirt. Blue sky day. It's a blue sky day. Can't you see? Will you come walk with me? Talk with me or take a drive. When it's a blue sky day, it's good to be alive. You mustn't wait. Don't tarry. Colors are bright and vary. A cloud in the seamless sky, shall we give it a try? Okay, I'll pack a lunch and start the car. Out and about in a special way every time it's a blue sky day. Fall is not far behind. The cold stillness captured the air. Shadows lingered on the beach. I saw ferns winnowed on the trail. It was summer when I turned. Fall was not far behind. Break you waves along the silent coast, where beaches display more sand than people. Orion is about to overtake the sky. Can fall not be far behind? Up on Main Street, someone lit a fire. In the southern sky, in formation fly the flock of geese. I'll turn 38 next week. Fall is not far behind. The mighty oak. All the while, the mighty oak stood by guardian of the verdant field and wood, watching over little children as they played. The years passed by and all was good. Its roots, pylon anchors, sunk deep into the soil. A hardy trunk and lofty branches were unworn, sharing shade. It withstood nature's exacting toil high above the houses before we were born. We never questioned what remains the same. September brought a singular, dreadful sound. In the midst of a raging Caribbean hurricane, the mighty oak splintered and crashed into the ground. A Cape Cod tale. Rest in peace. Cape Cod. Rest in peace. The day is done. The lonely breeze saunters across the bridge's crimson sun. Along the steel gray girders are draped the lavender lilac bouquets. The petals lift skyward and are softly sifted into the tumbling canal to disappear across Cape Cod Bay. Tears abide like raindrops, gathering in the foggy incandescence at the break of day. Down the Mid-Cape Highway, the Plymouth and Boston buses roll on their way. Where are those little children who graced your open shore? With a sincere and gentle heart, I held their hands through the door. Rest in peace, Cape Cod. Rest in peace, Cape Cod. Rest in peace. All that was and is and will be is but a gift from Almighty God. From Sandy Neck, the crayon land traces the horizon where the Truro cliffs start, until the dunky fog slinks over the moraines and kettle ponds to suffocate the heart. Rest in peace, Cape Cod. Rest in peace. Rest in peace, Cape Cod. Rest in peace. The day is done. The lonely breeze saunters across the bridge's crimson sun. Along the steel gray girders are draped lavender lilac bouquets. The petals lift skyward and are softly sifted into the tumbling canal to disappear across Cape Cod Bay. The time is so brief before we set sail. 'Tis the nature of this Cape Cod tale. Sneakers and blue jeans dress me up and make me look nice. Shine my shoes and shave my face. Now my tie is straight and my hands are clean. I miss my sneakers and my faded jeans. Not that I am not a stylish creature, and I cannot say it's not my nature. Would you call me strange or mean if I stepped into my sneakers and blue jeans? I am what I am, you see. Not what you want me to be, my life, a definite, lasting theme, a mix of sneakers and faded blue jeans.